Imagine this. You're out for a morning jog on a quiet university campus, the world still waking up around you, when suddenly, your life is ripped away in a brutal act of violence. That's exactly what happened to 22-year-old nursing student Laken Riley earlier this year, and now the trial for her accused killer, Jose Ibara, has begun. This case is not only shocking for the heinous crime itself, but for the disturbing details that have emerged as evidence is presented in court. Today, we're breaking down everything you need to know about this heartbreaking case, the evidence, and the fight for justice that has gripped the nation. On February 22, 2024, Laken Riley, a bright and promising nursing student, set out for her usual morning jog on the University of Georgia campus. But that day, she never came home. By the afternoon, her worried roommates used a phone tracking app to search for her, eventually leading authorities to a wooded trail where her body was found. Investigators quickly zeroed in on 26-year-old Jose Ibara, an undocumented immigrant who now faces life in prison if convicted. The prosecution paints a chilling picture of Ibara stalking the campus, hunting for females, wearing a black hoodie, hat, and gloves. Prosecutors allege he blocked Riley's path, attacked her as she tried to call 911, attempted to sexually assault her, and ultimately killed her by strangling and beating her with a rock. This wasn't a random altercation. It was a vicious, calculated act of violence. The evidence against Ibara is disturbing and seemingly overwhelming. Riley's smartwatch gave prosecutors a timeline of the attack, showing that she stopped moving at 9:10 a.m., triggered an emergency SOS on her phone, and her heart stopped just 18 minutes later. DNA evidence ties Ibara to the crime scene, with his genetic material found under her fingernails, scratches that suggest Riley fought fiercely for her life. His thumbprint was also discovered on her phone, which was discarded near her body. Surveillance footage from Ibara's apartment complex showed him later disposing of items in a recycling bin, where police recovered a blood-stained jacket with hair on it, believed to be Riley's. But the defense argues the evidence is circumstantial. They claim there's no definitive proof that Ibara was the killer, pointing out that none of the injuries suggest a completed sexual assault. They've even suggested that another person, possibly Ibara's brother, could be the real culprit. By waiving his right to a jury trial, Ibara's fate now rests solely in the hands of the judge, a risky strategy that could either work in his favor or against him. This case has also reignited national debates on immigration, as Ibara's undocumented status has been highlighted by many following the trial. However, it's the chilling details of the crime that have left the community shaken. Riley's 911 call, played in court, was haunting. It was mostly silent, with only birds chirping and the sound of footsteps before abruptly cutting off. Her body was found partially clothed, surrounded by signs of a violent struggle. The ground beneath her was disturbed, her shirt pulled up, and her head showed signs of blunt force trauma. Adding to the weight of the prosecution's case is digital evidence. Riley's smartwatch didn't just stop recording her heart rate, it tracked her movements as her body was dragged into the woods. This level of detail allows prosecutors to piece together the sequence of events in a way that's rare for cases like this. They argue that this is a slam-dunk case, with forensic evidence, a timeline, and video footage all pointing to Ibara. However, the defense isn't backing down. They're claiming the evidence isn't as strong as it seems, and that there's no concrete proof of Ibara's intent to commit sexual assault. They argue that public and political pressures surrounding this case have tainted the narrative. By putting the blame on another possible suspect and questioning the forensic findings, they hope to raise enough doubt to sway the judge. As the trial continues, Laken Riley's family sits through the painful testimony, often leaving the courtroom during the most graphic moments. The community mourns the loss of a young woman with so much promise, whose life was cut short in such a senseless and horrific way. Whether the judge finds Ibara guilty or not, this case serves as a tragic reminder of the dangers women face, even in the seemingly safest of spaces. What do you think of the evidence? Does it feel like an open and shut case, or do you think the defense has a valid argument? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Stay safe, and thank you for watching.